Okay, this is Nellie, and Nellie has a couple of issues. She's possessive and territorial about her guardian at times, especially at work. And also, I can tell that she's got cortisol, which is the stress hormone in her blood. I can tell that because she's kind of jumpy and twitchy, and little things sound as she freaks out. And cortisol helps us, accelerates our breathing and respiratory, and it's helpful in short periods of time. But also, people who have cortisol in their blood for too long can develop post-traumatic stress disorder. Same thing can actually happen to dogs. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can teach your dog to focus. Now, a lot of people do a watch me exercise, and they lure the dog up with holding a treat here. A little secret: if a dog voluntarily looks you in the eyes for longer than 5 seconds, it's akin to a kiss. And it actually starts releasing oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine into your brain and into your dog's brain. If you lure the dog, it doesn't do that. Now, when your body is producing oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine, it cannot produce cortisol at the same time. So this allows us to basically separate those two things. And so if you practice this enough, your dog can actually learn, you can actually stop the production of cortisol and redirect your dog's attention and produce the pleasure endorphins. So the way that I do this is I'm going to hold one treat here between my thumb and forefinger, and I'm going to put them both on my knees. Now she's going to go where the smell is strongest and try to take them. I'm watching her eyes like a hawk. She doesn't have to look me in the eyes, but she does have to look me in the face. As soon as she looks up at me, I'm going to raise it to my nose, and I'm going to go straight line from my nose to her mouth to maintain her looking at my face. But I'm not going to encourage her to look at me at all. I'm making the treats available, and that's kind of almost a distraction. I want her to say, I don't know how to get these, and look up to the human to say, hey, Betty, give me some help here. And then I'm going to raise the treat and then put it in her mouth and say the word focus, which is going to become the command word. So the first couple of times you do it, it takes a little bit of time for dogs to do it. You just have to wait, but watch them like a hawk. Don't look away. Oops. Just like that. Of course, I didn't get the treat in her mouth fast enough, but that was just a quick little glance, and you have to be able to take action on that. Otherwise, the dog, it might be quite a while before the dog looks at you. Hopefully that's not the case here. Let's see. Focus. And then I immediately reload so the dog knows we're playing the game again. What we should see as we do this is she stops going to my hands as much and starts going to looking up at me faster and faster. Focus. Remember, always say the command word after the treat goes in the mouth, not before. Focus. Now I'm going to count these out. At first, we're going to do 1 second for each movement. 1001, 1001, focus. Eventually, we're going to do this. I can't sit this way for too long. Eventually, we're going to make this go a little bit longer. So let's see. Let's have you come here between my feet. Come here. Come on. You can do it. Come on. There we go. Sit. It's probably not very good posture for me. 1001. Focus. Now that was a good illustration. You saw after a while she looked away. When we're first doing this, we want to go 1001 for all. I do this with 12 treats each time. So the first time I do it, all 12 treats, it's 1 second to my nose and 1 second from my nose to her mouth. 1 second, focus. And I'm raising my nose because I want to maintain looking at my face. Now I'm going to try to go to make it a little bit longer, and this is typically not the next time. 1 second, 2 seconds, focus. So the second time you do it, not necessarily a second time, it depends on how well the dog's doing it, but each time I usually want to add an extra second to this movement only. So this one is always 1 second to my nose. This one gets 1 second longer each time, unless she starts looking away, then I back up a step. You want to get it to the point where you can have a 15-second focus within a week. 1 second, 3 seconds, focus. But you don't want her coming towards the like she just did there. She only did a little bit. We want her to sit here waiting. If it gets coming too slow, I'm going to go get it. And then that gets her out of the focus. She's trying to defeat the exercise. So what we want to do is for the first week, we're going to practice this 3 or more times a day. The more you practice it, the faster she'll get it. Until you get to the point where, and you want to get to that 15-second mark within 7 days. Now, you can do it faster than that. That'd be ideal, but don't make it go longer than 7 days because the dogs do get bored with this and they'll stop paying attention. So once you've got the dog to do it within 7 days in the house, and when you do it in the house, nobody should be eating. There shouldn't be open windows with construction going on next door or anything like that that's going to cause the dog to be distracted. The next stage would be to practice right outside on your little patio here. And again, without any dogs barking in the background, but now you have all the sight, sounds, and smells of the distractions of being outside. So we practice this outside until we get to the point where the dog, and we can move faster, but we go back to 1 second, 1 second, but maybe do 1 second, 1 second for 2 treats, and then 1 second, 2 seconds for 2 treats, or whatever. Go at the dog's pace. You want to get up to the point where you're at 15-second focus outside without any distractions. Next thing I would walk kind of in your courtyard area outside. So it's outside, but it's not on the street where there's a lot more distractions. And this time I want to practice when I'm walking with her. So we'll see if we can do that a little bit here. So come here, sweetheart. So as you're walking and there's nobody around, you say focus. Focus. Now she didn't do it there because she doesn't know how to do it yet because we've just taught her how to do this. She knows the watch me exercise, but it's different than the way that I do it. So the idea is at first when we're walking, it's 1 second, 1 second. But eventually 1 second, 15 seconds on the second movement. So she's like running into stuff because she's not looking where she's going, she's looking up at us. And that's the whole point of this exercise, to redirect the dog's attention away from something else. It has the added benefits I talked about in the early part of this video about reducing stress and oxytocin and serotonin and all the rest of that fun stuff. But the idea is eventually when you see another dog or somebody that she's going to be reactive to, you say focus instead of her focusing. Dog's eyes get him into trouble. So this could also be something where we're going to do a follow-up session for this to work on her reacting to the buzzing sound at her work. And we'll do that in a couple of days. But this could be something where if there's somebody at work and she's like, I don't like that guy. Focus. And the treat's coming here. Now she stopped looking at the guy. She stopped thinking about them. Dogs can't really multitask. So if she's looking at me, she's not thinking about the delivery guy. So this would be something that you can do anytime she's starting to get distracted, or if you see her stressed out, practice this little focus exercise a little bit. And then you get, if you're at 15-second focuses and there's like a delivery guy and you do 4 of them, that's a minute. So you should be able to do this and keep her distracted for a minute. Maybe 2 minutes for the delivery guys are usually pretty quick, or women. Come in, boom, and they're out. So a minute should probably be enough time, maybe a minute and a half. And now we're reducing her stress, we're redirecting her attention, and she's ignoring the delivery guy. And after enough times, then she won't be so concerned about them as a threat. Now we're also going to do some counter conditioning, and we're going to try to teach her that the buzzer at work actually means a good thing instead of meaning somebody's coming in. But it's one of those things that we're going to have to do this one thing at a time. All right, let's do that one more time. We'll do this side. Focus. This is how you can teach your dog to focus.